Hello dear ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad to see all of you here again. Today I'm going to do my dramatic interpretation speech. Before starting it, I want to briefly talk about the person whom I will imitate today. The person whom I will imitate today is Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama was the first Afro-American lady in the United States in the years of 2009 to 2017. Specifically in this speech, Michelle Obama tries to convince people not to vote for Trump. The reason behind is that in the 2016 presidential election of the USA, Trump assaulted women by standing out very unethical words about women. And Mrs. Obama tries to convince people not to vote for Trump, but to vote for another candidate. Personally, I think it's one of the powerful speeches of Mrs. Obama. I hope you will like it. Let's switch to the video itself. It has been a week of profound contrast. See, on Tuesday at the White House, we celebrated the International Day of the Girl and Let Girls Learn. And it was a wonderful celebration. It was the last event that I am going to be doing as a First Lady for Let Girls Learn. And I had the pleasure of spending hours talking to some of the most amazing young women you will ever meet. Young girls here in the USA and all around the world. And we talked about their hopes and their dreams. We talked about their aspirations. See, because many of these girls have faced unthinkable obstacles just to attend school, jeopardizing their personal safety, their freedom, risking the rejection of their families and communities. So I thought it would be important to remind these young women how valuable and precious they are. I wanted them to understand that the measure of any society is how it treats its women and girls. And I told them that they deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. And I told them that they should disregard anyone who demeans or devalues them. And that they should make their voices heard in the world. And I walked away feeling so inspired, just like I am inspired by all the young people here. And I was so uplifted by these girls. That was Tuesday. And now here I am, out on the campaign trail in an election where we have consistently been hearing hurtful, hateful language about women. Language that has been painful for so many of us, not just as a woman, but as parents trying to protect our children and raise them to be caring, respectful adults, and as citizens who think that our nation's leader should meet basic human decency. The fact is that in this election, we have a candidate for President of the United States who have, over the course of his lifetime and the course of his campaign, has said things about women that are so shocking, so demeaning that I simply will not repeat anything here today. And last week, we saw this candidate actually bragging about sexually assaulting women. And I can't believe that I'm saying that a candidate for the President of the United States has bragged about sexually assaulting women. And I have to tell you that I can't stop thinking about this. It has shaken me to my core in a way that I couldn't have predicted. So while I'd love nothing more than to pretend like this isn't happening and to come out here and do my normal campaign speech, it would be dishonest and the genius of me to just move on to the next thing like this was all just a bad dream. This is not something that we can ignore. It's not something we can just sweep under the rug as just another disturbing footnote in a sad election season. Because this was not just a left conversation. This wasn't just a locker room banner. This was a powerful individual speaking freely and openly about sexually predatory behavior and actually bragging about kissing and groping women, using language so obscene that many of us were worried about our children hearing it when we turn on the TV. And to make matters worse, it now seems very clear that this isn't an isolated incident. It's one of the countless examples of how he has treated women his whole life. And I have to tell you that I listened to all of this and I feel so personally, and I'm sure that many of you do too, particularly the woman. The shameful comments about our bodies, the disrespect of our ambitions and intellect, the belief that you can do anything you want to a woman. It is cruel. It's frightening. And the truth is, it hurts. It hurts. It's like that sick, sinking feeling you get when you are walking down the street, minding your own business, and some guy yells out vulgar words about your body. Or when you see that a guy at work that stands just a little too close, stares a little too long, and makes you feel uncomfortable in your own skin. It's that feeling of terror and violation that too many of women have felt when someone has grabbed them or forced himself on them. And they've said no, but he didn't listen. Something that we know happens on college campuses and countless other places every single day. It reminds us stories we heard from our mothers and grandmothers about how back in their day the boss could say and do whatever he pleased to the woman in his office, and even how they worked so hard, jumped over every hurdle to prove themselves. It was never enough. We thought all of that was ancient history, didn't we? And so many have worked for so many years to end this kind of violence and abuse and disrespect. But here we are in 2016, and we are hearing these exact same things every day on the campaign trail. We are drowning in it. And all of us are doing what women have always done. We are trying to keep our heads above water, just trying to get through it, trying to pretend like this doesn't really bother us. Maybe because we think that admitting how much it hurts makes us as women look weak. Maybe we are afraid to be that vulnerable. Maybe we have grown accustomed to swallowing these emotions and staying quiet. Because we have seen that people often won't take our words over his. Or maybe we don't want to believe that there are still people out there who think so little of us as women. Too many are treating this as just another day's headline, as if our outrage is overblown or unwarranted. As if this is normal, just politics as usual. But New Hampshire, be clear, this is not normal. This is not politics as usual. This is disgraceful. It is intolerable. And it doesn't matter what party you belong to, Democrat, Republic, Independent. No woman deserves to be treated this way. None of us deserves this kind of abuse. And I know it's campaign trail, but this isn't about politics. It's about basic human decency. It's about right and wrong. And we simply cannot undo this or expose our children to this not for another minute, and let alone for 4 years. Now is the time for all of us to stand up and say, enough is enough. This has got to stop right now.